I'm assuming multi-streaming would take up more bandwidth. Okay.
Was taking Bataro not enough for you?
Two sickly Huana infants lie swaddled under rags. A woman thrashes a row of tunics and sarongs hanging from the rafters. Her pointed teeth are gritted in frustration, her lips set in a snarl. The clothes are spotless, yet she swings a handful of reeds again and again, grunting with each blow. Several children huddle together, whispering and looking on with red, tearful eyes.
Bataro is gone. Dead. What more do you want?
She punctuates each statement with a fierce whack of the reeds. The children flinch, looking between you and the woman. Am I interrupting something? She looks at you for the first time. A fraction of her anger burns off.
Forgive me. I thought you were one of the foreigners who sent him away. Outsiders here always go to the tavern. My village was not like this. Why does Queen Onikaza not send the foreigners away?
How did you know the man who was lured into the old city? One of the children starts to say something, but Biha shoots him a sharp glare. She turns back to you, arms crossed, gripping the reed bundle tightly.
Bataro is punished already, I say. Whatever offense he gave, do not hang it on our necks.
She begins swatting at the laundry again, though with considerably less gusto. I know you're scared, but I'm not here to harm you.
We say the only thing that live in these depths are ghost eels. And fish eaten by ghost eels. Which are you?
Turns away from you, striking the sarong harder and harder.
The traders say they bring riches in their big ships.
The fabric pops and snaps beneath their fury, sweat is flying, spattering the clean sarong.
But what reaches the gullet? Only crime and sickness, I say.
She pauses to take another couple of swings at the sarong. And what does this have to do with Bataro?
He said we would finally leave.
She breaks off, her shoulders heaving as she catches her breath. What happened?
I heard a Rawatine captain took up at the tavern. Seduzo, they call her. They say she is a traitor, so I thought maybe she will take passengers. Bataro went and found her in the tavern.
Her eyes go hard and dark.
Next I see him, the guards are dragging him to the cage.
She bares her teeth at the memory. Maybe I can talk to Seduzo. She looks at you with the same critical eyes she's been giving her laundry, wringing and tugging the reeds.
Everyone knows the Rawatines are made of brass. They listen only to their commanders. But still, maybe it goes different for you.
I speak several different languages. She looks around, taking in the hanging clothes, the huddled children, and the warped, splintering walls of the shack around them.
Bataro took some coin. Everything he scraped together working on the docks. And he went to bargain with the captain. I would offer it to you, but it is probably in the old city with Bataro. Or in someone else's pocket.
Tell me about the Rawatoyan captain.
Seduzo.
Biha is holding the reed so tightly that she snaps one in two.
They say she is a traitor, so I thought maybe she will take passengers. But she threw Bataro out.
She looks down at the broken reed in her hands.
Always Bataro was careful with his words, especially as a Raparu. But a Raparu in Neketaka gives offense just by breathing the air of his betters.
I could look for Bataro.
I could never ask someone to go down to the old city, but since you offer...
She trails off, working the reeds between her hands while hope and dread battle in her eyes.
It is a big and dangerous place. But perhaps he hid himself. Perhaps...
She steadies herself with a shake of her head.
Please, help him if you can. Or bring me news if you cannot.
How many of you need passage to Rawatai?
We are 6. 3 children, 2 babes, and me.
Are they all yours?
Such a strange question. A Raparu child is the child of all Raparu. At least that is the way in the village where Bataro and me came from. But here, we are all strangers. No one looks in on the sick or cares for the children.
Tell me about this stash of coin Bataro had. Worry creases her face. She sizes you up with a quick look.
I tell you, I do not know where it is, and I am sure it would be little to someone like you.
She licks her lips.
After what happened, Batara would sooner have thrown it into the waters than given it to the Mataru or the Rauataians. If it is anywhere, it is surely with his body.
Could you possibly take a different ship? She shakes her head.
Many ships leave from Queen's Birth, but the Valiants take slaves.
She lowers her voice and glances furtively around.
They say the Principe smuggle goods in the caverns below, but I cannot trust such people. But the Rauataians have mighty cannons, and a big homeland they abandoned for ours. Perhaps there is more room for us there.
Do you know the way to Delver's Row? She blinks in horror.
Never. That is the surest way to get the attention of the Overseer.
She lowers her voice.
I hear it is somewhere in the Narrows. It is possible Anoi knows. He has lived here longer than any.
And where's Anoi?
His hut is just along the walkway to the southwest.
All right, farewell. All right.
Kitty, kitty.
Kitty, kitty. Where? I don't see a cat. Wait. Oh, it's that cat.
Be careful. The Gullet is no place for outsiders.
A guard folds his arms, watching the activity on the walkway through slitted eyes, a coral piercing juts from his lower lip. He notices you with a sharp nod. Why was that man sent below?
Potaro? He associated with foreign criminals.
He spits. The gob of saliva is just one more splotch on the weathered and mottled boards.
I cannot be certain about Biha, so I let her go. But I will be watching her. These wicked sorts overrun the Gullet and corrupt the Raparu. Our justice must be swift and firm.
Where's Biha now?
Hers is the first house you come to. Just there.
He points southwest across the walkways.
You'll probably find her there.
Where does this lift go?
To the old city, Ikira. A god's cursed ruin filled with walking corpses and abominations of the deep.
Kira is a Huala term of agreement and emphasis.
And the remains of lawbreakers and troublemakers. The Gullet is no place to wander. Watch yourself for rowdies and pirates.
Can you tell me about Delver's Row?
Ikira. It is a cancer in the Gullet. A place of criminals and their foul dealings.
He folds his arm and raises an eyebrow.
And I cannot fathom for what anyone but a criminal would ask of it.
He lowers his head and stares down his nose at you. I want access to the lift to the old city.
Are you mad or merely lost? That place is a punishment for the lowest sort.
He waves a hand toward the exit. Well, I'm of the lower sort, so punish me.
Go and explore someplace with pleasant views and fresh air. The harbor, or Hariki's Overlook.
Neketaka has a rich history, and some of it lies buried. I must see it for myself. He shakes his head.
It's your neck, Ikira.
He whistles, and the guard standing by the lift looks over at him and nods.
We will leave the lift down there for half a day. That should be enough time to come back to your senses. After that, you are on your own. The guard will let you pass. Though I urge you to reconsider.
Farewell. The wheel groans with the cage's weight. It's slick with protective oil. Okay.
What have we here?
Ooh. Ooh, that must be the stash. Beneath the dirt and mildew, these carvings look finely detailed and very old.
Let's
How
not
did you
stand
hear
too
that
close to that.
about the boss?
With my own ears. Dario said there's treasures in that pit.
Shh! Have you lost your wits?
Hot wind redolent of vomit and mold wafts from the hole. An Orlan-covered toady ear tip and sable fur leans against the bar, counting change. She gives you a wide, easy smile when she notices your approach, then slips the coins into her pocket with a wink.
Hey, fresh face. Welcome to the hole. Just got 2 rules, yeah? Keep your hands to yourself, and don't fall in. Need something?
Well, I can manage one of those. What's the story with this place?
The hole's been here so long as there's been a gullet. Though it ain't always been mine. What's the neighborhood without a place to get pissed drunk and lose your pants?
How'd you end up here?
Well, it's a bit of a story. See, I was born here. Right here, fresh face. Right on this counter. And I'll die here too, God's willing.
And you serve drinks on that counter? I had some other questions.
Of course.
She spread her furred hands wide, inviting you to continue. I'm looking for a way into Delver's Row. Actually, I already know where it is, but I just want to hear what you have to say about it.
No doubt you'd fit right in. But getting there? That's dangerous business, fresh face. But it ain't none of my business, I suppose. If you're dead set on dying, you'll find Delver's Row in the Narrows. Those twisty alleys carved into the mountain on the west side of the Gullet. But since I heard you've been good to the folks around here, I'll tell you how to get there without getting yourself dead first.
She winks.
Take a right the first chance you get. Then keep going forward until you see a merchant stall. Look close. There's a secret hallway behind a curtain there. That's your entrance. I'm sure I don't need to tell you this, but all the same, you'd best watch yourself in Delver's Row. The crooks there will kill you just as soon as cheat you out of everything you own. If Dario doesn't gut you first.
Who's Dario?
You stick around the Gullet long enough, you might find out.
I have not played Tyranny or Pathfinder Kingmaker yet. I will play both. They're both on my to-be-played list. I'd like to buy something.
What you need?
I need provisions.
Sure. Birta's cooked up the best grub the Gullet has to offer. It's not actual grubs, though. Probably. You're not picky, right?
I'll eat pretty much anything.
Let me know if you see something that makes your stomach rumble.
Except for something that comes off of that countertop. Streetwise sleight of hand. I don't need any of your junk.
I'm starting to miss the gruel and gilded veil.
One of my eyes be open.
Why do you bother me, little kith?
I just want to know if you enjoy working here.
No,
She hawks a fat goblet of spit. It lands beside the food she's preparing and splatters.
the gullet reeks of illness. The beds are too small. An imp tried to nest in my hair, and Fyrna, the tavern keeper, refuses to give me more than 1 day off a month. How am I supposed to hunt when I am chained to this stove?
She scrunches her face into a grimace.
Maybe I'll become a pirate. Get myself a bird and an eye patch.
Ah, you could join my crew.
How do you mean?
She narrows her eyes and regards you with renewed interest. You know, like on a boat.
I'm not daft, you condescending little mite. Tell me why, and in what capacity, I should join your crew.
She grunts. Hefting her tenderizer high, she slams it down on a dubious-looking piece of meat. It makes a wet splop sound. My crew hunts a god, and they need someone to feed them.
You're after the Audra Colossus? Well, I wouldn't mind sailing in his wake.
She gives you an exaggerated wink. So then will you join my crew? You'll get a nice glimpse of that Aldra man.
I don't work for free.
Really? Fine, here's some copper. Will this satisfy you? She examines your coins for a moment. They look tiny in her giant hands, almost like a child's plaything. She shrugs.
This will do. For now.
She pats her meat tenderizer thoughtfully and gives you a small nod. Full compliment.
As you...
Meats of unidentifiable origin are strewn across the counter.
Certainly.
I don't get the reference, I'm sorry.
So,
I'm uncultured swine.
yes.
Real quiet now.
Oh man. The Rao Tauin sits ramrod straight on the table. Near her are a half-empty liquor bottle and a small porcelain cup. Both smell of anise. She looks like she's trying to blend in, but her unnatural stillness and her bright, spotless attire make her stand out like a reed fish against the rocks. Her eyes find yours.
Harami!
Harami.
I am here, Seduzo Nui.
Nui, a Rao Tauin word meaning big. Often used after a person's name to indicate respect or admiration.
Do we expect today a local merchant?
Seduzo keeps her eyes on you even as she speaks to the soldier. There's only a brief pause.
We do not, Seduzo Nui.
Captain shifts uncomfortably.
Then state your business quickly. I want to avoid another surprise.
She glances around quickly as if she expects someone to jump out of another corner of the tavern. Oh, what's your business in Neketaka?
Nearly done, I hope. I sold a consignment of iron and cultural coral, and will return to Rautai with vorals, merkberries, and Ondra stars.
She shifts in her chair, tugging at her conspicuously clean and bright clothes.
Are you writing that down?
She raises an eyebrow at Seraphine.
Nay, lass. We're merely moved to a momentary bout of verse by the beauty on display before me.
He clears his throat and secretes the scrap of paper into a pouch. I think that's supposed to say secrets the scrap of paper into his pouch. Irked, Jyoti runs her tongue over her teeth. Let's hear it, Seraphine. I can't hide your poetry from me, your captain.
They're very bawdy rhymes, Cap. Not meant for prim and proper mercantile types.
Even better. He rubs the back of his head. She looks at Seraphine as though he were a particularly talkative rodent. She turns back to you.
Anyway, that's what brought me here.
She fidgets with her cup. Odd that you would take your business to the slums, unless you're trading legally. She sets her glass down with a loud clatter.
The Royal Deadfire Company would frown on business in this district. But there's no harm if they don't know.
Shh. She laughs nervously.
What is your business with me?
I want to know, did you cross paths with a name named Butaro?
The one who threatened me. I shall not soon forget him.
She raises her cup for another sip, scowling into the liquor.
These Huana learn too many pretty words from the Valians. You cannot trust what they say.
And what exactly happened between you two?
This fellow wanted passage on my ship. As if I were the village ferryman.
She tosses back the rest of her drink a little too quickly.
I told him there was none to be had. Certainly not at his price.
She upends her empty cup. Then what? She refills her cup and sets the bottle down hard. You notice again that her hand is shaking.
He told me he had coin. Lots of it. I did not believe him. How could a man who lives in a garbage heap have enough money for passage?
She shakes her head.
So you assumed the worst and threw him to the wolves?
No, you presumptuous Adiran. I assumed nothing until I saw the swollenette.
A swollenette?
A marked coin. A token of allegiance. The Principi carry them.
Go on.
I knew then that I was dealing with a pirate. I had heard they were influential in the Gullet, but I did not realize how much so.
He scowls and shudders.
I called for the guards, and they tracked him away. That is the last I saw of him.
Well, Biha and the children still need passage out of the city.
There's nothing I can do. The passenger quarters have been reserved by a dwarf named Orron.
She picks a stray thread from her smooth, crisp jacket.
Why do you bring this to me?
I won't tell the Royal Deadfire Company about your dealings here, if you take Biha and the children. She tugs at her collar and looks around to see if anyone has overheard you.
Very well. I could take 3 more in the hold, and no more. Orron and his crew have reserved the berths.
The children are very small. Surely you could take more than that.
I will already have to abandon crates of cargo to make room for these 3, plus the food and water they require.
Very well.
Send them to me. The sooner we leave, the better.
She shifts her chair, looking around the tavern as if she expects someone to jump out at her. I want to find enough room for Biha and all the children.
And I told you there is none. The 3 I agreed to take will barely fit in the hold as it is.
Tell me about Orron.
He and his people are Gold Pact knights. Orron is... particular.
She looks at her crew and they nod in agreement.
Perhaps that is good. He just finished a contract to guard the Valian Luminous Mill. I hear Animancers are also particular. He's upstairs. Just do not interrupt him if he's arranging things.
She and her crew exchange another quick glance. Farewell. Give me your grub.
I shall make it so. I can get it to spill. There we are.
Another cat for me. Dude, the 6-toes cat. Nah. 20 health restored per enemy killed. Think I'm in the right spot. A dwarf sits before a generous and curious spread, steamed mussels arranged in concentric circles, rounds of flatbread stacked in a neat tower, and melons sliced into even triangles. Yet his attention is focused on the 4 cups in the bottle in front of him. He has the cups organized in an almost perfect square around the bottle, but as you look on, he leans down to adjust one. The others with him wait quietly and observe the ritual. Wait. Holding his breath, he takes the bottle and measures an equal serving of wine into the cups, making 3 or 4 passes over each. His companions look on with practiced patience.
Don't see why you'd spend all that time arranging your food if you aren't making it look like a funny face.
At last, the bottle is empty and he places it in the exact center of the square. He picks it up and puts it down in the same spot twice more before he's satisfied.
I didn't see what Seduzo was fussing about. Nothing wrong with being tidy.
Aloth leans close to you, then turns back to observe.
Cheers.
They all take their cups and drink deeply. At last, the leader turns to you.
What do you require?
I want to know what brought you to the Deadfire.
We had a contract with the Valian Trading Company to defend one of their most valuable properties.
He glows with pride.
If you're looking for work, I hardly recommend them. They pay well, and they pay on time.
He raises his cup, and his companions do likewise. Seraphin leans near you, grinning.
Consistency in the shipping lanes. Good for types mercantile, but better for types piratical.
Did you say something?
Just admiring your spread, my lad. Nothing better after a meal than a ripe pair of melons.
You got that one right. I hear you've bought passage on Captain Seduzo's ship.
Indeed. The good captain has 4 adequate berths, all equally sized, all facing the same direction, and she's promised to leave promptly. A most agreeable arrangement.
He sips his wine. And just what would it take for you to see your spots on Seduzo's ship?
Out of the question. We're due in Tekoa for another contract, and the client has already paid the advance.
He sips from his cup and immediately runs a folded handkerchief around the rim.
And we have already paid Seduzo. I couldn't possibly take back the same coins I have already spent.
I'm booking passage for a family, but Seduzo only has room for 3 of them, so they'll be split. His hand jerks so violently that he splashes a few drops of wine on the table. He mops them up, a rigid and pained expression in his face. I'll wait.
That will not do. That will not do at all.
He's still dabbling at the spilled wine, but something brittle has crept into his frown. His companions shuffle nervously. At last, Orron pushes back from the table and looks up at them.
To Queen's Berth, quickly. We must find a more suitable ship.
The Gold Pact knights file out together. Okay. When do I level up again? I want to level. Where's my experience? Again, kind of close. Oh, wait. You.
What is your business with me?
Orron won't be traveling with you anymore. She eyes you suspiciously, the soldiers with her shrugs.
That is convenient for you. But never mind. If there's trouble, I'm staying out of it. The berths are paid for. You can send your friends as long as you promise not to make trouble for me.
She glances from side to side, checking to make sure no one is listening.
Just do it soon. I don't want any mess you've made to spill onto my decks.
She looks at her crew and makes a twirling motion with her finger. Farewell. Biha. Oh no, I should go to the ruins first. A man saunters over to you with a jagged smile. He's got a long crooked scar on his forearm and he's rolled his sleeve up to flaunt it.
You must be new. Lucky for you, we have a special rate for newcomers. A bag of coppers in exchange for your life.
He brandishes a knife. One of his companions grins widely enough to show you all his missing teeth. But the way they're all gathered around you, leaving their own backs exposed, tells you they haven't been here long either. You're newer than I am, which means you're poaching on someone else's territory.
Told you.
One of the others punches the leader's shoulder. The thugs look at one another and exchange a few panicked whispers.
It seems we've made a mistake. Forgive and forget, no?
He smiles, backing away. They hurry off and disappear back into the crowd. So I should go into the ruins first, because there's a chance I could find Otaro still. I think that's his name. And then they could all be reunited. Hopefully it's not a meat grinder down there. A rickety metal cage swings over an abyss. Your clothes billow with a foul wind from below, and faint screams and roars echo from the depths. Still, you can make out no details from this distance. Go down. You step into the jouncing cage. The door slams shut and your descent begins with the rattle of chains. As your eyes adjust to the gloom, you begin to make out crumbling ruins and shadows flickering between them. The cage comes to rest with a groan. Alright.
Nice and quiet.
Spindleman might like to hear about this too. Beth. Perception. The bones are warm to the touch. Oh. Is female furries actually a villain group in Superman? Is it what it sounds like? What's going on? Vigil of Nightmares. Oh, okay, that looks scary. Let's leave.
Bastard.
It shall open to me. It's done.
Uh-oh. Triggered a trap of some sort.
Sharp eyes, indeed.
The bones are warm to the touch. Why would I touch them? Guess digging for loot. A burrow twists into the darkness! Whoa, what's going on? Burrow? Does that mean you're gonna keep coming? You rage yet? Not you, Elath. Jyoti, you go over there. %? That's fine.
Let us end this.
Armor is 9. Okay. Fine. Holy crap, Adair. You need healing. Not looking good. I'm just gonna load. Oh, have you not really? Oh no.
My eyes be open.
I wasn't saving while I was going along. I think I'm not quite ready for this place. I'll make a note. Want to row one mission Stereo. And go to Old City Biha. The slum place. Rescue guy. Okay. I said go. Are they this way? No. Oh, I can leave this way. Go to the Brass Citadel. Darn my crummy laptop. I see the resemblance.
What is your business at the Brass Citadel?
I'm just looking around.
You're the Watcher. The one who nearly caused a riot in Queensbirth.
His mouth quirks in a grin.
The Grand Secretary at Sura wants to meet you. His office is on the lower level of Imperial Command. Up the stairs.
He points to the steps.
Once you're inside, go downstairs through the room on the right.
Is he in charge around here?
Azanui Karu is the ultimate authority in the Brass Citadel.
He crosses his arms over his chest in salute.
But she must endure the sops at the palace.
He rolls his eyes.
When she returns, I'm sure she will grant you an audience. For now, Atsura Nui speaks with her voice.
Leave. No Valiant spy is coming through on my watch.
I'm a merchant. I have business inside.
You want to see our walls, our cannons, our powder house. You must think I'm an idiot.
Ugh, you got one thing right.
Alright, I'm ending it for now. I have some friends coming over. I'm going to play a board game called Street Masters soon, so I'll be doing that.